A pleasant good afternoon and welcome to Focus News Summary. 50 minutes of news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and our pleasant warm war. My name is Lyndon Toby anchoring this segment of news presentation. In the headlines, President Joseph Boakai forms task force amid U.S. travel ban concern. Bone County Representative Mohamed Breeze Menza descends on President Boakai's executive order, says it is affecting access to basic financial services. President Boakai defends his use of private jets for foreign travel, asserting that the decision is based on priority rather than waste. Prime suspect in the Capitol building arson case, John Yanti, taken to court, accuses government of inducement and away from whom Trump administration demands action from 36 countries to avoid travel ban. These and many more are all packaged. We're taking a short break. When we come back, we bring you the bulletin of our news. Welcome back and thanks for joining us. President Joseph Boakai has established a high-level task force to address U.S. government concern that could trigger potential travel restriction on Liberia. It can be recalled that the Trump administration had raised an ultimatum instructing 36 countries to introduce stronger diplomatic actions or raise visa restriction. Addressing the U.S. concern, President Boakai, as chair of the task force, has initiated efforts with ministries and security institutions aimed at identifying challenges and devising actionable solutions. The task force is further tasked with the responsibility of creating swift diplomatic reform that aligns with the United States goals which seek to mitigate growing concerns of illegal migrants. President Boakai emphasized Liberia's commitment to good governance aimed at fostering shared diplomatic values, while expressing confidence that the task force would yield the needed results. President Joseph Boakai ordered Representative Women Breed Mensa have criticized President Boakai's executive order, which demands the usage of national ID for the official transaction of business, asserting that it is still in progress to basic financial services. In a communication to the House plenary, Representative Mensa alarmed over the alleged persistent delay experienced by most people in obtaining the ID card, something she described as embarrassing. In response, Planner has summoned officials of the National Identification Registry. The move is aimed at providing a clear plan for improving service delivered in the issuance of the national identification cards to citizens across the country. That invite comes on the heel by concern raised by Bone County District 6 Representative Women Bree Mensa over repeated persistent delay in processing the cards despite applicant completing food registration. One of the prime suspects in the Capitol building arson case has been arrested and sent to prison. John Suspect John Yanti, upon his arrest, was escorted by heavy security guards from the Liberian National Police to the court. Authorities confirmed that he has since been on the run after allegedly committing the crime. Yanti is being accused as the key facilitator who allegedly received the money from Monserrato County District 16 lawmaker Dixon Siebel and had it distributed among his alleged conspirator. Why? In a brief interview with OKFM, Yanti accused the Liberian government of trying to bribe him in order to testify for the state in an overly hyped Capitol building fire incident. Former presidential candidate Alexander Cummings has weighed in on President Boakai's controversial use of private jets for foreign travel. His assertion comes barely a few hours following President Boakai's open defense on the usage of private jets. But in a Facebook post, Cummings expressed deep concern over growing public frustration, emphasizing the need for the Boakai's administration to prioritize results over optics and perception. Cummings rejected President Boakai's defense, adding that while private jets are necessary for expediency, it is unnecessary due to the current economic hardship faced by Liberians. He further emphasized that the growing frustration is valid due to the government performance, while urging Liberians to judge leadership by impact, not transportation choices. President Joseph Boakai has strongly defended his use of private jet for foreign travel, asserting that the decision is based on fundamental rather than waste. President Boakai clarified that the usage of private jet for the essential purpose does not amount to wasteful spending. In an interview with BBC Newsday, the Liberian chief executive argued that no choices are made in the interest of the country and do not contradict his administration's uncompromising stance against corruption. The report from BBC asserted that President Boakai, who assumed office in 2024 after defeating incumbent George Weah, campaigned on the platform of transparency, accountability, and good governance. A key message during his campaign was a strong stance against corruption, which he accused the previous government of failing to curb. The Ministry of Education and the Liberian National Police have banned all street parades associated with school gala days across Liberia. According to a release, the joint initiative stemmed from growing concerns over student safety, public disturbance, and repeated violations of the ministry directive. The institution argued that the parade over the years have proven chaotic, leading to injuries of minors and those threatening public order. The Ministry of Education and the Liberian National Police clarified that this ban does not extend to celebratory activities organized by schools, highlighting that the use of sport pages and other venues preventing traffic hazard or disorderly conduct. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Education and the Liberian National Police have pledged to deploy officers to monitor and prevent street parades, warning that violators will be held accountable in accordance with the national laws of the country. This is a reminder that you are listening to Focus News Summary, 15 minutes of major news presentations covering Liberia, Africa, and our one war. Let's bring you a quick look at our top stories we've been following this morning. President Joseph Boakai forms task force amid U.S. travel ban. Bond County Representative Wyman Briggs Menza descends on President Boakai executive order, says it is affecting access to basic financial services. President Boakai defends his use of private jets for foreign travel, asserting that the decision is based on priority rather than waste. Prime suspect in the Capitol building arson case, John Yanti, taken to court, accuses government of inducement, and away from whom Trump administration demands action from 36 countries to avoid travel ban. Let's take a short break. When we come back, we bring you a continuation of our news development. Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. The Ministry of Education convened a high-level consultative meeting with education officers across the country, signaling a meaningful start towards operational effectiveness. The dialogue is aimed at aligning administrative practices with governance issues, thus enhancing service delivery across all educational spectrum. Speaking at the occasion, Education Minister Jackson Jalla underscores the urgency of financial reporting, something she said must be aligned with the national envelope. She warned against delay, stressing that it undermines the ministry's unwavering commitment to transparency and accountability. Meanwhile, Education Minister Dr. Jackson Jalla expressed deep concern over unauthorized hack in graduation fees, a move she described as unacceptable and a violation of the educational policy guidelines. Civil Service Agency Director Josiah Jokai has revealed that over 3,000 Indian nationals are currently employed by ArcelorMittal in roles that could be performed by qualified Liberians. Speaking at the Liberian Senate, Jokai linked the unemployment crisis to the continuous hiring of foreigners in non-specialized roles by multinational companies operating in Liberia. His section comes on the heels of ongoing investigation by the Liberian Senate surrounding the issuance of work permits to Liberians. The CSA boss also pledged his institution commitment and cooperation with the Ministry of Labor aimed at addressing the influx of foreigners in the private sector. In a related development, the Liberian Senate is expected to conduct a major employment audit at the ArcelorMittal facility. The move seeks to ascertain the employment practices of the company, ensuring that it corresponds with Liberia's labor law. President Joseph Boakai has departed Liberia for Nigeria to attend the 2025 West Africa Economic Summit, focusing on regional trade and investment. He traveled via Esca Airline on Thursday, June 19, and is expected to return Monday, June 23, following key engagement and bilateral meetings. The summit gathers West African leaders, investors, and policies makers geared towards promoting economic growth, job creation, among others. President Boakai is expected to spotlight Liberia's investment opportunity and hold strategic talks with heads of state and business leaders to strengthen partnership and attract development finance. The event promised by ECOWAS Chairperson Bola Tinubu includes a high-level discussion aimed at addressing peace, development, and economic integration. And the Trump administration has given 36 countries, most of them in Africa, a Wednesday deadline to commit to improve vetting of travelers or face a ban on their citizens visiting the United States. A weekend diplomatic cable sent by the State Department instructs embassies and consulates in 36 countries to gauge their host country willingness by Wednesday to improve citizen travel documentation and take steps to address the status of their nationals who are in the United States illegally. The cable, which was described to the Associated Press, asked the country to take action to address the U.S. concern with insisted they already been added to the current travel ban. This is Spoken News Summary. My name is K. Lyndon Togba. I present a good afternoon.